The Sacramento Kings, with the trade deadline passed, may not have any interest in trading Domantas Sabonis this offseason. I thought that was interesting for a variety of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Namely, because I asked if it's Darren Peterson,
mm-hmm.
wouldn't Domantas Sabonis be a good fit? And I know, and this is where you get into timelines and all of these different things, but I wasn't sure it was completely out of the realm of possibility or the worst idea. Like if there's a trade for you that's like, that makes us better, let's do that.
Yeah.
But I feel like with Zach LaVine, you do anything you can to get a deal done.
Mm-hmm.
With DeMar, you do whatever you can to get to a resolution. With Domas, if the market's there, let's move.
Yeah.
But if it's not, that's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right.
See, the only killer with that is you may be left with damn near the same squad again. Because Zach feels, well, he's going into an expiring, but it just still feels difficult to move Zach LaVine. So if you're not moving Zach, you're not moving Domas. All right, here we go. We're doing the same thing again. And that's a little deflating coming off a team that is going to win about 15 games this year. To just be like, we're coming right back with them again.
I got you.
So in that respect, it'd be a little disappointing. But to your original point about if it's Darren Peterson, if it's really any of these guys, any of these guards, even AJ and A-Cuff, I don't know how the forwards will work out with them, but you talk about Caleb Wilson and Cam Boozer. Well, now you're looking at Domas, Caleb or Cam, and Keegan at the 3. And that seems a little bit more natural of a starting lineup in that respect. So maybe that does work in that way. Domas still a heck of a basketball player. So what feels like with anybody that you put him with, especially when you talk about some of these guards, Darren Peterson working dribble handoff and pick and roll with Domas would be absolute fire. Yeah, he would help. He would make them better. It's just like, what are we doing in the big picture?
No, I understand. I was really leaning on the idea of Zach being gone, but I get the
right.
I get the issue and we'll talk about something ESPN wrote coming up as the show rolls along. But I do think the idea of trading those guys in those contracts is discussed way too casually.
Mm-hmm.
And I would hope that this last trade deadline taught us something. And I don't think it has, because everyone's like, well, now we could just do it in the off season. All right. Great, man. Like in theory, sure, you could trade anyone. In theory, you could trade Giannis Antetokounmpo to 29 other teams.
Right.
In reality, though, you can't. And in reality, moving Zach LaVine is really difficult. Is it more attractive now than it was 4 weeks ago? Or will it be more attractive in 6 months than it was 4 weeks ago? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But you still need a very specific team who's very willing to do business. And that's not always the easiest thing, because money out is money in. And there is a very realistic scenario, at least in my mind, where it's, no, we couldn't do it. And we're not taking that or that. We're not taking Jakob Poeltl, or we're not taking this bad contract.
Mm-hmm.
Just got to let it expire. Or you get to February when the season has gone to hell and you figure out what you could do to buy out the remaining games of his contract and let him go. In the end, it doesn't matter. Like you've lost at that point. Like it doesn't matter.
Let me ask you a question. Is there a scenario where they do bring back these guys, they draft whoever they draft, and like the team is surprisingly decent?
Well,
decent, I'm talking bottom end of the play-in competing type team at this point in the season.
You fool me, you can't get fooled again. Shout out to our boy W, our favorite. I'm not dying on that line again because we are the idiots who did not think this team was going to be a 12-win basketball team.
We're gonna run this back, and just the vets are gonna be bought into Doug, or
Well, maybe
we're all
maybe
playing
Doug
Doug's way.
No,
That's kind of my question.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. Like DeMar can't be back.
Well, yeah.
Like DeMar, like however the stuff works with his contract, the partial guarantees,
Right.
the $10 million, one way or another, DeMar DeRozan isn't back.
And I'm less thinking about DeMar, more so like Domantas and Zach LaVine.
Yeah, and I'm genuinely curious what, if any, conversation, and I have to imagine one was had with DeMar DeRozan, at least I would hope one was had before the trade deadline. I can't imagine suitors would have been that difficult. Certainly not like Zach LaVine and Domantas Sabonis. And, we're seeing DeMar play every night. DeMar's a big reason they won last night.
DeMar's even with when everybody's there, DeMar might be their best player still.
Yeah.
It's an argument. Like
I think Domantas Sabonis is their best player when everyone's healthy, but I'll change your wording a little bit. DeMar regularly plays like their best player. I don't often wonder what kind of night I'm going to get when things were better.
Right.
I didn't often wonder what kind of night I was going to get from DeMar DeRozan. Outside of 10-plus rebounds, I did wonder what I was going to see from Domantas Sabonis on a night-to-night basis.
Same with Zach LaVine.
Oh, Zach, yeah.
Never knew what you were getting with Zach.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
But to answer my own question or go toward, I'm asking, can they be a decent team? And you're probably taking off somebody that I just said might be their best player. So
yeah,
maybe not.
But you are adding in that regard because you're adding through the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Not to go San Francisco 49ers on you, but you are adding through health. I can't imagine them. I can't imagine a repeat of what we're experiencing right now. But to Jesse's point, I don't know, especially if Doug is the coach, I don't know how it's
I
not
think
the
Doug's
same.
changing his philosophy next year.
Yeah, I don't. It's like, is Doug sitting down with those guys? And there's also, okay, guys, we've got one more year together. It's the last dance, boys.
The last dance.
It's the last dance. We're all together. And let's be honest, this thing might be ending in February. So I don't even know, because that's not like a triumphant end. Like if it was like, all right, guys, D'Lo and KC, we're shutting this thing down in 1 year, and we're gonna go off and we're gonna live our life, and we're transitioning to TV, and we've got 1 year left of D'Lo and KC, and then you could do the last dance, so you could build it up. But if the boss comes in and goes, guys, sometime in the next 12 months, you're going to be fired. You're just not going to be here anymore. We're not going to pay you. It's just whatever.
Kind of whatever.
It could be 12 months. It could be 6. So, hey, go put on a winning show.